Good morning, White Mountain Apache Tribe and viewers all around the world. Welcome to another Saturday edition of Chairwoman's Facebook show here. It's Saturday, December 12th, and today is a beautiful day. I'm not sure the temperature outside, but we had a very strong frost, so it's melting right now. But nonetheless, welcome, and we'll get right to it. Before we start, really grateful for the rain and the snow, the moisture in general here at homeland of White Mountain Apache. And so, boy, this area has been very dry. It's still dry, but this helps. So let's welcome the Honorable Chairwoman Gwendena Lee-Gatewood.
Good morning.
Hey, there you are, right in front of your tree too. I like your tree. Cool.
Yeah, right in front of the
tree. All right, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. It's pretty cool here in Honda. So.
Yeah, it's feels like about 80 degrees inside here. It's very comfortable. So just a little ASU out today. You know, we had a big game yesterday, and so very proud of the Sun Devils winning. So just showing my colors. I can't help it. Sorry about that. But anyways, Chairwoman today, as we are talking, what's that?
What was the score?
I didn't want to go there.
Okay, then.
It was 70-7.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Yeah, everything that could go wrong did for them, and everything that could go right did for ASU. So it's just one of those weird things. But anyway, well, Chairwoman, as I'm talking to you right now, the White Mountain Apache Tribe is in a lockdown. And so we are locked into our homes here today and tomorrow and Monday. And so could you talk about what's going on with the lockdown as you, anything that is worthy to announce?
We are in an extended lockdown. I believe people are confusing it with stay-at-home order. We're not in a stay-at-home order. We are actually in a lockdown where you cannot leave your house unless you have a medical emergency or the criteria of going to work. We have essential employees that are still working. For example, your docsal, your first responders, and then the people that work, like say Walmart or in Pine Top, Sholo, wherever, they have a badge or a letter or something that identifies them as I'm on the road because I'm going to work. So if they get pulled over, that helps them to tell the law enforcement that they are en route to work or coming home from work. Anyone else will likely get stopped. You just abide by the protocols at this time, and the fact that we are in a lockdown. Yesterday, I did have to go to the office to deliver some important documents and sign some documents. But I saw a lot of traffic on the highway. Now, granted, I can't say if those were people taking a detour to Highway 73 versus going straight up to Sholo. I can't say that for sure, but there was a lot of traffic on 73 yesterday. So this is a reminder that we are in a lockdown. If you have medical appointments, I do know that those are okay because you need to go get seen by your doctor. So as long as you have that appointment slip in your hand that says that's where you are going, that will help you.
So last week, I mentioned that a couple of friends of mine talked to me about don't let your guard down. This virus, you don't want it. one of them said that thought he was just going to be in the clinic and in Phoenix for about uh, um, 12 hours or something like
Mhm.
that. They told him that they're going to do some tests and blood work and stuff, and it turned into 3 days. He was conscious, he was okay, but he said this thing was really terrible. It started out with headaches, and then it started out with sweating, and then fever, and then just unusual body aches here and there all over the place. And he said it was just not fun at all. And so that is the prime reason why we are in lockdown. The EOC and the governing body are looking out for the general welfare of the people of White Mountain Apache Tribe. Our numbers have consistently risen and risen and risen to a point where it went to a trigger point number, and the council had agreed that once those trigger points are detected, they would act, and that's what happened here. Also, I wanted to say that last weekend, hunters were able to go hunting for those that just started their new season with, for me, trophy deer, and I think others still had some season left, or the tail end of it, the final weekend. And so this weekend, you're locked down. You cannot go hunting, not
Mhm.
until essential days, right? And when are those essential days?
Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Those are the only days that you can go hunting and within the timeline, and then also wood cutting. You have to have a permit to go wood cutting. So those are the only days.
Okay. Yeah, one last thing. My friend also said that last week when he went to the hospital for 3 days, he heard code blue. He said he heard it about 8 times. That means in Phoenix, whatever hospital. Oh, that's the one that's by MCC, Mesa Community College. I think Banner, Samaritan, I don't know. But he asked later on, what is code blue? And the nurse told him that it's when um, the most extreme time for a patient in the clinic regarding COVID-19. And so that scares me. It should scare all of us, you know that? And so that's why, I'm one of the supporters of lockdown and whatever the council and the EOC decide. I know some people, they kind of, but we gotta, think of the whole big picture here. All right. Well, Chairwoman, we have a special guest and one of the most valuable people on the reservation. Go ahead and introduce our next guest here.
Our next guest is responsible for all the financial activity for White Mountain Apache Tribe. He has a duty according to the Constitution and has obligations as such. And he's responsible, the main person behind the stimulus payments that we're doing right now. All of this is placed on his shoulders and his staff to carry through. I asked him to be a guest on the show today, mainly to clear up some misunderstandings and to answer questions. Jerry, I had thousands of inboxes on Messenger. I couldn't answer all of them.
Wow.
And it was just about specific questions that I think Deron here could answer. Good morning, Deron.
Hey, good morning.
So first question I have, it's a very important, what are you drinking?
I'm thirsty this morning, so I'm drinking I need a new one, by the way. ASU Pitchfork.
Okay. Go ahead, Chairwoman.
Okay, Deron, I've been getting a lot of questions from the public on some of the things, and I'll ask our producer to show the ones that we have so far, and then we'll go straight to you. Which form do I fill out? Both forms will be accepted. The next one. What is needed to receive a payment? A completed application with copy of an ID. So when Deron comes back on, we'll ask him what forms of ID are okay. And the next one, producer? Well, here we go. What form of ID is acceptable? Driver's license, tribal ID, certificate of Indian blood with a picture. So remember that you need your picture on there. And can it be done online? The form, yes, it's available on the website under COVID-19. So do we have any more follow-ups or no? Okay, the application, everyone's been asking, where can I get the application? I can't download it anymore. Where do I email it? I don't have an email to send it to. Well, you can send it to stimulus@wmat.us. I know individuals who have emailed their forms are getting responses back. So here's the question that I've been getting a lot, Deron. What if I turned 18 today? That's today as in December 12th. Can I get the stimulus payment? The answer is the cutoff was December 8th, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, when Tribal Council passed the resolution.
Okay, and then when is the next drive-through? Oh, okay, the deadline here is December 22. That's Tuesday, so mark your calendars, put it in your phone, get that alert, tell your family and friends and relatives. The deadline to submit the application is Tuesday, December 22. Put it on your calendar and don't forget. I left my ID at the business office. How can I get it? IDs can be picked up at the business office on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. These are your essential days. So those are the times that you can go over there to pick it up. But don't flood the office. We're trying to keep social distancing here. So remember that. And you can call the 338-2401 for additional questions. So, Deron, I've been getting some questions as in, when is the next drive-through? Do you want to let our viewers know when the next drive-through is and what they can expect?
Okay. So initially we did a walk-up application process at the business office, but I'm sure everybody saw the lines going north and south of our building. So because of social distancing requirements, we shut it down for that day, and we instead did a drive-through. And the following day, unfortunately, weather wasn't permitting, so we were initially planning to stay out there from 9 to 4, but we cut it down about maybe 12:30. So the next drive-through that we have scheduled is Tuesday at the activity center, and it's going to be the same deal. There's going to be a drop-off line, pick up, fill out forms. And then in the meantime, we are going to be placing some boxes at various locations. We're thinking the post office area, maybe Apache service. We're wanting to do maybe Civic Q commercial center. And I do know Councilman Gerald Altaha does have a table in his front of his area, his house. So it's available there. And then they can, drop it off, a filled out application on Tuesday. And then we're planning a distribution, a drive-through in Civic Q, and we're aiming for Thursday of this coming week.
This week.
Yeah, maybe at the commercial center.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then there's a question here by Jimmy Tontai, and I think Jimmy has a birthday today. One of the Tontais has a birthday today. And anyway, his question is, what if my mom, who can't walk or go there, how can she get an application? Do you know if you'll be doing community distributions of any sort where you show up in Canyon Day and within walking distance for some, I don't know if you have that planned out.
At this point, no, we don't. What we do have planned, I guess, is more like individuals that are on quarantine.
Oh, okay.
CHR, the director there was thankfully was able to help us with that. So they'll be passing out applications as they do home visits.
Okay. All right. And Rayvon J, thank you. He'll get Jimmy Tontai an application. The next question, I believe, if he can go back to Eric Cromwell, will an affidavit or CIB work or paper from DMV with photo ID work? And explain why you need a photo. You might, because I'm getting a lot of that.
So we, I guess the reason we have a photo ID is, I mean, there's a number of people that, maybe about 4 people that have pretty much the same name in White River. So that's part of the reason. We just want to make sure we're processing a check for one person and not duplicating it.
For another. Okay. Yeah. And there's a question on when and where can we obtain a tribal ID or a CIB with a photo? Do you have any information on Vital Records' hours for that? Or
you know what? I do not. I think I know HR has been mimicking our hours of operation, which is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 to 12. But I would give them a call. Unfortunately, I don't have their phone number handy, but I do know one number is 2509.
Oh, okay. I will. Go ahead.
338-2509.
Okay, I just text the council secretary to ask her if they'll be doing hours this week for this purpose. There's thousands of people asking a lot of questions.
I guess back to the ID, I mean, any form of ID with a picture. We've had I believe IHS use their badge, their badge with ID. So if you have a work ID badge with, we'll accept that.
Okay. Jerry,
yeah, I got a general comment, I guess. I'm wondering why so many people lose their IDs. I think I've had mine for years and years and years. I don't like the photo on it, but we should try to be a little more responsible. I do want to say that at KNNB Radio in the Lost and Found, there's a big box there. The majority of those items in the box are IDs, picture IDs. People find them here and there, and they bring them to the station. So, that might be one source of a place to find your old ID if you lost one. But otherwise, I know the office next door to ours, Chairwoman, the Tribal Council office, the Vital Records office, they've been busy every day. You see people in line trying to get an ID. And so if I were you people and I lost an ID and I want to get this stimulus, I would plan on getting there at 8 o'clock right away and stand in the line and be done with it and protect that ID forever. That's what I would do on Tuesday. But some people, just remind you, we close at noon. Most of the offices on the tribe close at noon. And so be mindful of that, people. That's why I'm saying get there early in the morning. 8 o'clock is real early in the morning. Okay.
And then there was a question by Kisei back right there. Can a student ID with a CIB work? Like say Blue Ridge, a Blue Ridge ID, but the CIB goes with it, but the CIB doesn't have a photo, I don't know what's on the student ID, but will that work?
Yeah, if it has a picture ID.
Okay. All right. There you have it, Virgie. And Jerry, do you have one more question for Deron before we go to Dr. Hammond?
Okay. Deron, I guess in general, when will these payout be dispersed once the application is in? When does it come out and how? Is it quarters or what?
Okay. So we're processing it. We understand, I guess, during this lockdown and this whole pandemic, people need funding, I guess, to purchase needed supplies, groceries, pay for utilities during this cold weather. So we are processing it. as we get it, we actually processed the first batch, which was 260 checks on Friday, yesterday. So those
Wow.
will be going. Those will be going in the mail, and we'll be working on calling people. I guess informing them that their checks are in the mail. And I guess I need to check with legal if we can, if it's a good idea to actually put the list out for the public to see. But for now, we're going to be calling people once their checks are processed.
So again, earlier, people can actually avoid those long lines, avoid getting wet, avoid being cold, avoid getting close to one another simply by scanning your application and your ID and sending it to stimulus, STIMULUS at WMAT.US, and you're done. And then I'm glad you guys are doing that. You confirm saying we received your application. And so that relieves a lot of tension. And then Arnold right here, he's asking, where can the application be turned in?
So we're, I guess that's what the drive-through is. We're at this point,
Okay.
we don't want everybody to flock to the business office like how they did on Tuesday, I believe.
Yeah.
But anyway, I guess in addition to the email, which would be the preferred method, they can also fax it to 338-4465.
4465.
And 338-2458. And when the person faxing it, I guess once it goes through, they do get a confirmation that it was successful.
Okay.
And,
could you repeat the numbers real slow for Grandma who might be watching, and she can put it on her calendar?
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's there we go. 338-4465. And then the other is 338-2458.
2458. Okay. Oh, there we go.
And I guess the emails, when you email it, we have 2 staff that are monitoring it, downloading, but I think we're going to expand it to 4 maybe, because just the volume of emails that we're getting it's great. Thank you guys all that are emailing it, but we're about maybe a day behind on, I guess, if you
responding.
Yeah. So we're a day behind in our responses.
I did give you the okay to do what you needed to do by having your workforce work longer hours or what have you, because this demand is pretty high. And again, the relief application, you can go there today after the show or even right now, click on the link and that form will pop up. You can make copies and to help distribute it out to your own families within your own household. Don't be going to someone's house now. That's not what we're wanting you to do. But we are going as efficiently as possible. So Deron, our tribal treasurer, has been mandated to carry out this function of the stimulus payment so that you could pay for your groceries, get some things to help combat COVID-19. That is the purpose of this. And I also, Deron, wanted to ask, I have some questions on my inboxes from older people who don't know how to fax, who don't know how to email. They're used to the old-fashioned United States Postal Service, if they can mail it back, because they live in, I think one was from Kentucky, one lived in Louisiana. They're fairly elderly, like 70 plus, and they want to mail it back. So when they inboxed me, I'm like, hey, you're using social media. How did you do that? And then it was, I'm her great granddaughter and I'm asking for her kind of thing. So I'm like, oh, okay. So we have those questions too, if they could mail it back.
Yeah, that's good. That's fine. Send it to the White Mountain Apache Tribe, P.O. Box 700. That's White River, Arizona.
And should it be some kind of memo on stimulus or something?
Yeah. Mention maybe relief payments or stimulus payments.
Okay. All right.
What about this? Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just going to comment
Cool.
that that's very helpful for, grandmas and grandpas watching the show that, that
Yeah.
may need to tell someone else that they could mail it back. So.
Right. And for those young people that are helping grandma and grandpa, Deron, is this acceptable? Using a cell phone, taking a picture of the application, and then taking a picture of the ID, and then sending it to you, to the tribe?
Yeah, emailing
Okay.
it. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
As long as it's readable, make sure
Yeah.
your penmanship, you can read it. Because I've seen some that not that, but other handwritten things where you can't even read what the name says or anything. So make sure that you can read it. And what would be the deadline for mailing in if they are going to put it in the mail?
That's a good point. We definitely want to get it as soon as we can. So if they can put it in the mail next week.
Okay.
Because I mean, everything seems to have slowed down because of COVID, and plus we're in the holidays, so
right.
Service may be kind of a little slower. And then one more thing, we so if there's any questions, somebody from the business office will be calling those individuals, I guess, to clarify. So if be sure to answer your phone.
Okay. All right. Well, will someone return their call if they call that hotline number? Will they get a return call back? Does it have voicemail, or is it just from 8 to 5? It
is 8 to 5, and we're so that's a receptionist, and right now, everybody in the business office, the doors are open. Well, we're closed to the public, but doors are open and everybody's moving like worker bees. So it's a pretty hectic time. We'll do the best we can to, I guess, answer the phone calls, but I guess that would be the best number, is 2401 for any messages.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, Deron. I know you're busy. You probably need to get back to that, to the work there, but thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chairwoman, I was just thinking that is the treasurer of the White Mountain Apache tribe, the guy that controls the funds. Yeah. I should have told him that I've been an extra good boy this year. Wink, 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 and man, I missed it. So, well, next time. So who is our next guest? We have a doctor here.
She's from Johns Hopkins University, and she's an infectious disease prevention director, Laura Hammond. So we're very happy to have her with us. She has an obligation at 11 o'clock, so we can go ahead and go right into greeting. Laura, thank you for joining us. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yes, we just heard news yesterday that the FDA gave an emergency authorization use to one of the vaccines. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's really tremendous news and a remarkable achievement, and I think gives us reason to hope. The COVID pandemic has had a major impact, not only on the White Mountain Apache tribe, but in tribal communities across the United States. And a safe and effective vaccine is really needed to help end this pandemic. As you know, vaccines prepare our immune systems to be able to fight infections if we get exposed to them. And they've been a really powerful tool for improving the health of the White Mountain Apache community and communities around the world for many, many decades. Hopkins has had a long-standing relationship with White Mountain Apache, and we've worked together on a number of different vaccines, including the HIV vaccine and the rotavirus vaccine, the pneumococcal vaccine, which prevents against a main cause of bacterial pneumonia. And these are all vaccines that are now used for all White Mountain Apache children and children all over. And so the White Mountain Apache tribe, and actually the Navajo tribe as well, joined the Pfizer COVID vaccine clinical trial this fall. Participation was voluntary, and we just thank everybody who came forward to volunteer for that study. And Overall, there were 44,000 people around the world in 6 different countries, 39 different states who participated in that study. And the results were released earlier this past week. The results showed that the vaccine was 95% effective in preventing COVID-19 disease, which is really remarkable. And the FDA reviewed that data on efficacy as well as the safety data. So side effects from this vaccine were generally mild. The most common side effects included some pain or soreness at the injection site where people got the vaccine, as well as muscle aches, tiredness, and headaches. But all of those were temporary. They went away within 1 to 2 days. And so based on that evidence that the vaccine can prevent disease, based on the fact that the vaccine was well tolerated, the FDA granted emergency use authorization to the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine just last night. And the CDC is meeting as we speak to make recommendations for how that vaccine should be deployed.
What's the age group that FDA approved it for?
The FDA approved it for people 16 and older. So on White Mountain Apache and Navajo Nation, we enrolled people in the trial who were 18 and older, but other places around the country enrolled down to 16 years of age. And the data from those age groups showed that they made good antibody responses and tolerated the vaccines well as well. So the FDA has given that authorization down to 16.
Oh, okay. And then when the vaccine study is it still happening on our reservation, or are you done with that?
No, so enrollment has ended, but the people who signed up for the study will continue to be followed over the course of the study, which is a 2-year-long study. We will, as vaccine becomes available, and we do expect vaccine to be shipping out even as early as later this week. As vaccine becomes available, the first priority we think, and the CDC's already made the recommendation that the first priority is our frontline health workers. We've got to keep people safe who are taking care of everybody else.
Right.
So trying to start that vaccination process for the frontline health workers even before Christmas time. And then the vaccine, as more doses are able to be shipped out, will expand to other high-risk individuals, elders, people with underlying conditions, and then gradually be able to expand even into the general public. So as we move through those different stages, as vaccine becomes available, people who were in the trial, who are in those stages, can come forward and we'll find out if they got the vaccine or the placebo. And then if they got the placebo, they can cross over to get the vaccine.
Okay. Jerry, do you have a question?
I got some questions, but before that, a comment here. I happen to be the board of directors president for KNB Radio. I want to encourage you and your team to utilize the radio as often and as much as possible this week. Whenever, whatever needs to get announced, come on in, and we'll do the best we can to accommodate and get the word out as to how the details and the logistics will be taking place. And so I want to just offer that. But otherwise,
thank you.
I wonder, I guess, when might be the first announcement, or when might be the first wave of vaccine, the shots?
We expect shots to begin before Christmas. So the shipment date hasn't been confirmed yet, but it will be later this week or early the following week. And so we expect those frontline health workers to begin to be able to get shots before Christmas time. And then hopefully, we'll roll, and this is really, IHS, I wish someone from IHS could speak better to this for sure, but they'll roll that out as quickly as possible as more doses become available.
Okay.
And it's 2 doses, right?
That's right. It's 2 doses. There are 2 different vaccines. So there's the Pfizer vaccine and the Moderna vaccine. Both of them look about 95% effective. So they're both excellent vaccines that have similar side effects, really just that temporary tiredness, soreness at the site where the shot was given, temporary headache. So they both look very similar and provide good protection. The Pfizer vaccine's given about 3 weeks apart, and the Moderna vaccine's given about 4 weeks apart. So when you get your first shot, they'll make your appointment to get your second shot, because you really do need those 2 doses to be effective.
And you cannot go from Pfizer to Moderna. You have to stick with the same.
That's right. Yeah, you stick with the same one you started with.
Okay. And then a lot of people have asked, how come they did it so fast? And Dr. McCauley from IHS and Dr. Dave Wilson from National Institute of Health did a fairly good explanation that there's some cousins to this virus, if you will. We called them cousins. And one was the swine flu, and then another one, I forgot the other name. But that makeup is so close to how this virus is that they were able to work. They didn't do any shortcuts. A lot of doctors throughout the world came together to work on this. So it wasn't anything that one mastermind did. It took a lot of work with people devoting their time 24 hours a day to make it work.
That's exactly right. None of the phases of the clinical trials were skipped at all. It was really just this tremendous investment of resources that allowed this to move very quickly, and allowed us to have, be in a position where we have vaccine available. Really less than a year after the pandemic started. It's a truly remarkable achievement. And I'm just grateful. I'm so honored to have had the opportunity to work with the tribe and with IHS together in combating COVID-19.
Yes, we've had a 40-year relationship with Johns Hopkins, and it all started with Dr. Santosham, who came to the White Mountain Apache Reservation when a lot of our infants were dying because of dehydration, diarrhea, and he along with other doctors came up with the formula, which is now most would understand, Pedialyte.
Yeah.
So that started from White Mountain Apache Reservation, and now it's worldwide. So the relationship that we have is founded on friendship, mutual respect, understanding, and accepting that you have to work with our Apache culture and work with our cultural needs and awareness. And I really have to hand it to Johns Hopkins to taking that initiative to take the time to learn more about our culture, to learn more about who we are before you start coming in and doing, different medical things. I think that is one of the reasons why it's lasted so long. So I really want to thank you.
Well, it's been our honor. I saw a question pop up about where teachers will fit in the line, because
Yes.
teachers are so essential. We need our kids to be able to go back to school. And teachers will, as far as I understand, be part of that essential worker rollout, but that will probably be tiered. And so I know that IHS there is going to follow the ACIP or the CDC recommendations, and those are actually being voted on sort of as we speak. And so I think, vaccine will get rolled out as soon as it can, again, starting with those, the high-risk frontline workers, moving on to elders and essential workers, people with underlying conditions. So stay tuned for more information on the actual, details of the rollout.
Good.
Okay.
All right. And also, I guess, Chairwoman, the moment we hear something, it might prompt an unannounced, unexpected Facebook program as we're doing now. It could be at, I don't know, Tuesday night or early Friday morning or a Sunday afternoon. I mean, whenever. So I guess we'll be ready as well to help disseminate information. But this is so great. We lost some people. We lost some good people. And I sure didn't want to have any more get lost from this here. So families to suffer any loss. So we're very, very happy just in general as a human being for this vaccine. And so
Right.
thank you and all of those people such as yourselves throughout this world trying to make a difference. Thank you.
Yes. And Laura, before you leave, my other comment was, this doesn't end everything. People will still have to wear the mask, still be socially distant. It doesn't mean a cure-all. We're all done, start having group meetings. That doesn't mean that.
You're exactly right. And I think that's such an important point for people to remember. This is one tool that will help us to bring an end to this pandemic. But we know that there may be people who are not yet vaccinated. We know that the vaccine is not 100% effective. It's 95% effective. So in order to continue to protect our elders, really, we have to continue all of the other measures. We're going to need to be able to continue to wear masks, to do social distancing, to do good hand washing. All of that will be really critical for many months still.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I know you have another event to attend, but really appreciate your time and answered a lot of questions today of just things that were just coming up in my inbox and my email. On essential days, people were asking me about the vaccine, and as it comes through, we will be sure to make that announcement. And thank you for all that you do, and all first responders, medical professionals everywhere. It takes a lot of commitment and dedication to do what you do, knowing that you yourself could get infected with whatever, but you still go and do it to save mankind. And many thanks. Our prayers are always with doctors and nurses and all the first responders. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for all that you're doing. I think the tribe continues to be a model for the COVID response for people around the world. So, and we hope to have take the opportunity to update the community on the radio as news becomes available over the course of the next week or two. So thanks so much for that invitation as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
Wow, that's awesome. So, Chairwoman, I agree with her that the EOC and the governing body done well. I think a lot of tribes, I know this, have been contacting you and saying, this is our situation. How did you handle this? And so, that's what it's all about. We help one another. And I think we have been a role model, the White Mountain Apache tribe. So kudos to you and the leadership. Thank you.
Yeah, we're here to help one another, and tribes, we're all in this together, not just the tribes, but everyone else. And testimonies, I wish we had Renee Garcia on as a guest to tell a little bit more about her COVID experience, but she's done a very good job at being an advocate, someone who went into coma for 2 months, came back, and she's still overcoming some of the effects of COVID. And just yesterday, we heard from President Aguilar from Mescalero, who indicated that they had 5 deaths from COVID that night, the night before. Very, very somber situation. But he indicated that, some after they got well, the COVID virus affected their organs, whether it's their heart, some other organ. You just don't know, which is why you have to be very, very careful. And he was adamant that he wanted the tribes to know, you will get better and overcome it. If you do, you don't know if you'll have side effects, was his message. It seems to affect the heart, your breathing, different things. So you can't just treat it lightly.
Right. Okay. Well, you mentioned President Gabe Aguilar of Mescalero Apache Tribe. Yesterday was the Apache Alliance Summit and it's a gathering of the Apache people, the tribes, and just talk about whatever is going on. And so yesterday's summit dealt around a lot of the conversation we've been talking about this morning, the COVID-19 and the impact, and now the future, and so it was one highlight that I enjoyed very much from President Aguilar was the fact that he said that Mescalero Apache tribe intends to come back to the alliance, and so we welcomed them with open arms, and so there was it was a good day yesterday, a good meeting. A lot of leaders and tribes were able. That was the first time, I got to be honest with you, participating in a Zoom meeting. So I liked it. It was awesome. So I'm gonna start having more of that, I guess. I'm really scared about this technology thing. I don't know why, but it's just one of those weird things. But so your thoughts on the Apache Alliance Summit yesterday?
I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fact that Native Health, an organization, who is based in Mesa and Phoenix, do what they do. They do free COVID testing. They give out lunches and breakfast to the kids in the metropolitan area. And for those of you watching, we all know it takes hardship when our family relatives get flown out from White River and get flown to Tucson or Phoenix. Right now, it's not as easy to just follow them because of COVID issues. You can't just show up at the hospital. They usually make you just wait outside. So following them normally isn't accepted right now, but Native Health advised us that whenever at least one person or the patient themselves get flown out, they have grants that are available that will help you. They give you a gift card, and they try to help you through the hard times of being away from your family. And how long they do that, you'd have to ask them. But let me give you that phone number. I think it's very important. Write it on your calendar. If something happens to somebody, you can always say, hey, I remember this from the show. You can call them. And they also advise that each hospital down in the Valley or Tucson is aware that if you are Native American origin, descent, what have you, they will have their social services worker or their social services advocate and another individual come see you to help get the information to give it to Native Health so they can help set up that gift card and give you some essentials to help you during that time that you're away from family in the Valley, whether it's you or whether it's your loved one that got flown out. They do give you a gift card. It helps with gas, maybe some groceries, but let me give you that number. It's 602 279 5262. Write that on your calendar. You can always ask them questions on, how does that work? But each hospital down in the Valley is already aware. So whenever you get flown out, they'll come see you and they'll help you through the hard times, because some people, they don't have the money, but they get flown out. And then if they, get released and they're coming back through medical transport or what have you, or a family's going to go pick them up, you're going to need gas money or something to eat, so it really helps.
Yeah. And it's also not necessarily just for COVID, right? I mean, let's say, heaven forbid, I get an appendix problem that's unannounced, and it's violent and it's painful, and it might require surgery. And so suppose I was needing to go down and payday is next week or something, and I didn't have the funds, I would call 602-279-5262 and they would help me with a little bit of relief aid, and even my family maybe that want to come down and support. So, but heaven forbid we don't want that. So knocking on wood, don't want that. But yeah, it's available. That's good from Native Health.
Yep, and they'll share with you the criteria if it's just a one time or per day, what have you. But they do feed people, I believe, breakfasts and lunches, and they were explaining how many they had done. So, oh, Mayra, well, thank you for noticing the Christmas tree, Mayra. My niece in California. So, anyway.
All right, yeah. Is your tree from Homeland, natural? From
it's from home. Yeah.
So is mine. Yeah, it's not from a store or anything. So very, very happy about that. Tribal Homeland has these things for us. Also on the Apache Alliance Summit yesterday, typically we have a replica of a 30-30 rifle, and that rifle was purchased by Jicarilla Apache Tribe. And wherever the host tribe, the host is going to be for the summit. So yesterday's Alliance Summit was sponsored and hosted by Fort Sill Apache Tribe. Last year, it was us, White Mountain Apache Tribe. So this year, we don't know where it's going to go, but it was determined that at the next Apache Alliance meeting, we will determine, where the next summit will be, and hopefully thinking positive here that all of this vaccine proves that it's effective and it works, and through time, we get back to what was called normal, and so anyway, so that's something to look forward to. And I had a lot of trouble trying to send that rifle through the mail in the spring. God, can you believe that? To Fort Sill, there was a lot of barriers, so I ended up just hanging on to it. But it's safe, and it was good to have Jonathan Lupi, our operator, and his sons sing some songs for the event yesterday. So those were some of the highlights there. And back to you, Chairwoman.
Yeah, those were great highlights, and very honored and happy that the people could join us. We had to do it that way because of COVID. Couldn't just up and meet somewhere like we did last year. So hopefully the next time we'll be able to meet together. Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Chairwoman Ware, she joined as well. Always good to see the Apaches out in Oklahoma. But Apache Alliance has been longstanding. It's a unified voice for all Apache tribes, and I'm humbled and honored to be the president of Apache Alliance. And the work continues. Of course, COVID kind of just left a jam with everyone's schedules. All the leaders had to just focus on what's going on in their own reservation. So the Alliance had to be virtual because of COVID, but thank you to all who participated.
Indeed. All right, Chairwoman. Well, just a few more items here. I think 2 or 3 here, but I understand Res Dogs calendars are now available. Res being WREZ and Dogs DAWGZZZ. There it is. All right. So it is now available, and a lot of you pet lovers out there, these are local dogs here from White Mountain Apache Tribe, and it is now available. And Chairwoman, where do the funds, how is it going to be utilized?
Well, all proceeds from the sales will help control the pet population on the Fort Apache Indian Reservation, as well as combat infectious diseases like Rocky Mountain spotted fever from ticks and fleas, and any other canine associated issues. And we are starting this up, so it takes you to help make it successful. and it's brought to you by my office, but it was put together by all the tribal members out there, and it's brought to you by my office and the Rocky Mountain Spotted Fever Program. And I just want to do a special thank you to everyone who contributed, which is the community, the responsible pet owners, and the canines themselves, the res dogs. They're the star of the show for that calendar. But, you know, Jerry, some of the photos, gosh darn it, we couldn't use them because once the printer enlarged them, the pictures kind of got blurry and pixelated. So of course we can't print that, you know, so that had to get put aside. But that calendar just looks really nice. And I must say, Gus from Cedar Creek, that little pug, he's getting pretty popular. I think he's in the month of July. The last time, yeah, here he is. Real popular guy there, Gus.
All right. We have a professor here about the same height as that guy, and he's sleeping. He's supposed to be our security, but he's sleeping right now. Just kidding. He's a good guy. He does alert us when somebody's outside or whatever. But yeah, we love our dogs and our cats, our horses, you know, our pets. So do take care of them. And this holiday season, you know, Chairwoman, next week, we're going to have a pretty interesting Saturday program, a little different than usual. Before we go there, I wanted to say, as one of the board members for KNB, we gave out turkey or ham to our board and the staff and all the volunteers. And we included pie and some drinks, a 12-pack of drinks. So in this case, it was Pepsi products. But I know typically a lot of tribal departments, they have their Christmas dinners and stuff around this time, but not this year. It's going to be different this year. And so whatever it is they're going to do, more power to them, I guess. But in the end, Christmas is just a time to be respectful and be good to one another and to be good human beings, just as Jesus Christ would want us to be as best as possible. And so next Saturday, the focus is on that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
So
and I'm looking forward to it.
So you want to keep it a surprise what we're going to do, I guess, or you want to share a little bit, or?
We can share a little bit, and I don't know if we want to do it at this time or if we want to do it in the evening time. That will be something that we'll have to determine.
Different. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I know right now we're all in a lockdown, but it seems that the viewership gets a little higher for the evening so people don't miss out. But we have planned a time for us to share our Christmas with you. So it'll be somewhat of a Christmas program, and it's a very White Mountain Christmas. So we'll have a Christmas program, and we're looking for Santa. So Santa is busy. So if Santa can make an appearance on the show, you know, we're looking for Santa. I know he's busy. He's still checking on all the girls and boys out there and getting what he needs to do. But, you know, we're excited to bring that next
So
Saturday.
you don't want to miss the show next week. Spread the word, people. You're going to be in for a wonderful treat. We're not giving any specifics, I guess, so that's fine. But you're going to enjoy it. It's going to be awesome next week, and so we'll leave it as that. And is there anything else, Chairwoman, that's on your plate that you
I just got this dashboard. We post it every day. It looks like this. Anyway, our daily active for today is 194. And that's approaching 200. We got up to past 300 in June. We can't get there. Otherwise, we'll see the red zone there. that's from the EOC. This is where the lockdowns come from. And if you pay attention to the daily increase in positive, which is, I believe right there, you add those numbers up every day, and that's what they do right here. And that's a good indicator of if we're going to go into a lockdown, an extended lockdown, or a shelter in place. But even if it's called shelter in place, it's still a lockdown. I think some people are under the assumption that it's stay-at-home order. If I need to go somewhere, then I still can. No, it's not. We are in a lockdown. But as of today, we are at 194.
Yeah. Okay. That explains a lot here. I don't want it. I don't want that for any of my family and loved ones. And I know you, the viewers out there, don't want it for you yourself, nor your loved ones, your family. So we just got to abide by this and just, tolerate. I don't know if that's a good word or not, but the way Renee Garcia said it in her letter, her daughter read it out. She said something along the line that don't be disappointed about staying at home locked down. Rather, be at home thankful that you're healthy and alive with your family and all of your loved ones. And so, I think that hits home right there.
Right.
And then
another thing, Jerry, this is the back of the calendar. So I know we only have the front, but this is the back. But there's a question here. Is it only available online? Right now, I'm working with the Tribal Treasurer. He's the one that's going to take care of the finances. I don't want to be near any of that. So we're trying to see how we could get this maybe at H Market, Basha's, maybe the Honda store, and some other areas. But we're working on that. And as soon as we make that available, we'll let you know.
Okay. All right. Well, Chairwoman, today's a little bit of a sports flavor with my screen, everything right there in the screen. I was so happy that ASU finally won the game, and I didn't know if there was going to be a season this year. That first game against USC, I thought we would take it and win the whole Pac-12 and be up high, but it wasn't in the cards like that. We blew a 2-touchdown lead with under 3 minutes to go, and so we deserved to lose, but thereafter we had 3 weeks where there was no games because of COVID-19, and then we had a game with UCLA, and then of course U of A last night. So that kind of a short season, but all in all, I was happy. But I'm trying to transition to football now to the Arizona Cardinals. They kind of been on a different spectrum right now, and so there's just a few games left. They were solid in a wild card hunt, and then even a couple of weeks before, they were in first place of their own conference, meaning they would be guaranteed a playoff spot. But now they lost, I think, 4 out of their last 5 games, and it's bothersome, But anyway, there's still, what I'm trying to get at is that there's still enough time to turn it around, and I hope so too. Man, it's been kind of tough. So tomorrow's game at 11 o'clock in the morning. It's in New York. East Rutherford, New Jersey, I guess. So the New York Football Giants is who the Cardinals are playing out there. I don't know. I almost went against the Cardinals on this one, but I can't. My heart says, don't do it. Don't do it. Give them hope. So that's what we're doing. Arizona Cardinals 24, Giants 23. It's going to be a good one tomorrow. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. For calendars, don't forget CBQ and Carrizo. Let's not do that.
Yes, we'll stop and check at Carrizo store, and then CBQ Commercial Center. you're correct. We'll get that out there, and you're helping for a good cause. I know some people commented you should just give them away for free, but in order to help fight for a good cause, we want the public to be healthy, and sometimes we don't get enough funds to do more than we would like. So this is an opportunity where the tribal members themselves came together and taking pride in being responsible pet owners, wanting to promote public health. They're the ones that put this calendar together, and my hat's off to them. And for their pets that they love so dearly, they don't want anyone else. You know, people have died from Rocky Mountain spotted fever, and we don't want that to happen on the White Mountain Apache Reservation again. So we need to do our part and help in that fight. And Jerry, before I forget, for those of you that have asked, how can I get a tribal ID? You'll need to get an appointment. And the hours are Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday during essential run days from 8 to 2. And you have to have an appointment. You can't just show up and say, tribal ID, you have to get an appointment. And you can call 338-2509. Make yourself that appointment and get it scheduled.
338-2509.
Yes.
Okay, and so I'm going to make an appointment for Wednesday at 10 a.m. I'll be right there. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Got it. And also those calendars, limited supply, right? That's what you have. There's not, yes. It's not for 17,000 tribal members. It's very limited. So first come, first serve. So
yeah,
do what you can.
But if 17,000 orders come in, I will definitely make sure that they are ordered and delivered, because if they are, the sales go through the roof, if you will, then we need to obviously print some more, and it's for a good cause. So we have a supply right now that we think will do good, but if it goes beyond that, which would be great, we can certainly make room to order some more. And also, if you just want to make a donation, I think I'll give them a donation. Hey, we'll take that and we'll put it to good use, and we thank you for that as well.
Okay, that's good. So, all right, I think that's kind of pretty much all I have here. We're gonna try to do some. May I be nosy and just ask you personal question? What are your plans during this lockdown weekend? I think you deserve a little bit of rest, and just calm down, and I'm planning on doing the same. What are your plans in general this weekend?
Well, last night I was fiddling with the Christmas lights outside, trying to, unravel them and put them up. I'll probably do that and just try to fix some things up to, Engosha. Summer clothes can be put in the storage box kind of thing. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I'm going to try to do this. Oh, you know what? My meat came in all nicely packaged and sealed and really clean. And so that was from the elk from the season this year. First time going with, those meat processing places. Mm-hmm. And so they done a really good job. And so I'm going to try to start getting healthy here. I'm pretty serious about that this time. I already lost a little bit of weight. I'm going to try to do some more and get working here. Answer the casino. I don't understand that. Answer the casino, or question from the casino. Anyway, So that's it, Chairwoman. I guess we are pretty much done. I'm getting a phone call. I hope you can hear me. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can't hear it because I lost connection here. So thank you for all that you do. We appreciate that. And just think, not too long ago, I believe you when you said you're going to buy more calendars. You said we're going to buy more face masks, and you did, and it helped more people. And I think these calendars will bring a little, good spirit to the people. I remember when we couldn't find, toilet tissue and sanitizer, and things were really chaos, and we lived through all those things, and we even had a pageant to try to raise some spirits. So we're basically staying busy as best as possible to help bring joy and bring help to the people. I appreciate your doing that. So just wanted to say that.
Thank you. And just as a reminder, you can't always buy more time. Time, when it ends, it ends. I know some people are frustrated with being at home, but that's a time that you have with your family, a time that you just won't get back. Kids grow up in a blink of an eye, and the time that you have, cherish it, remember it, write a journal of your time through this, so that your great-grandchildren might read about it and take some examples from it or learn a thing or two from it. It's something that we as people, we have adversity, but how we respond to that determines our character and our integrity. So we do our best to respond diplomatically and do our best. So with that, we turn to prayer. Our ancestors have always relied on prayer and faith to get them through their most difficult times. And they didn't do it, I'm going to go and just only protect myself. They went together. They unified. And that's what we have to do, just like our ancestors did. And today I want to introduce you to a pastor of Canyon Day Assembly of God. He's agreed to do our closing prayer, Pastor Christian Lent. I'm going to go ahead and allow him to share a few minutes of a word, a sermon to us, some good words, and then he can go ahead and close the show with a closing prayer. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Glad to be with you guys today. I'm you guys are saying how your Christmas trees were from the reservation. Mine's actually from Costco. I have a pre-lit 3-piece Costco tree. You just stack it whenever you plug it in, and it all works. But yeah, so maybe one of these years I'll get blessed with a Christmas tree locally. But no, that's a Costco Christmas tree right there that I have in the background. But first of all, I like to thank the Lord. Manahu, that's Paiute for hello. I've been a pastor here upon the White Mountain Apache Reservation for 3 years, and it's been an awesome time, Chairwoman. The people are awesome. They accept me as one of their own, and I really appreciate it. And I know that God is going to do some great and mighty things upon this reservation. I heard one minister say that God's reserved the best for last as far as a movement of God. And the minister said that God reserved the best and he put them on reservations. And I really believe that God is going to do a move upon our reservations. We are a spiritual people. We understand the spiritual things in life. We appreciate what our Father has given to us. And I really believe that in these last days, God is going to lift up our heads. God is going to restore that which was broken, that which was taken away. The Bible says in the book of Joel, it says, that I will restore back the years that the cankerworm that the locusts have eaten up. I always tell my congregation, the Bible didn't say, he's going to restore back the hours, the minutes, the month. But the Bible is very, very specific. And when it said that God said that he will restore back the years that were taken away from us, the years and what we lost in, like the Jewish people, like in the years that they were lost in captivity, the years that were lost in, and them walking away. But, God is the restoring God, and God will restore. It's awesome to see how God restores people's lives. You know, some years, you know, people lost in, let's say, a bad marriage, or, you know, being bound up and overseas of alcohol and drugs. Man, our God is the restorer. God will restore back those years. God will even restores back to greater, like in the book of Job. God restored Job back to twice as much as he had before. And so understand today that hope is not lost. We're in a season of Christmas, a season of hope. The Father sent down Jesus Christ to give us hope again. You know, you have hope inside of your life. You know, it's not too far lost. You're not too far gone. You still have breath. I mean, you can still look up and understand that God is going to bring a restoration to your life. God is going to bring a restoration to this reservation and into people's lives. And I believe that with my whole heart, of knowing that we serve a God of restoration and we serve a God of hope. God could restore back your family, restore back your life, you know, restore back those things. What, you know, the Bible says in John 10:10, the enemy has come to kill, steal, and to destroy. But we serve a God of restoration. And so I want to leave you with that, you know, hope in God. God's going to restore things back inside of your life. But let us pray right now. Father, we come for you in the precious name of Jesus. We thank you for, Lord, Father, your Son, that defied death, hell, and the grave. That, Father, we know that during this world and during these times that you are with us. Your word says that you never leave us nor forsake us. I pray that you'd be Lord over this reservation, that you, Father, would draw people to you, that you continue to restore back lives. You continue, Father, to show people, Father, that they can have hope. They could have expectancy inside of their lives of knowing that things are going to change. Lord, rather they're backed up against a wall, rather they're in a valley, and rather they, Lord, don't see any good in their lives. I pray, Father, that you show, that you lead, and you guide. We pray over the tribal leadership. We pray that, Father, that you continue to give them wisdom during this time. Father, that you continue to lead and that you continue to guide them. Father, right now, Lord, we come against fear. For your word says you have not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and of a sound mind. Father, to exclude fear from our lives and to understand that we are in your arms, that you have always been with us and you will never leave us. Father, of knowing that everything is going to be okay, that this too shall pass, and we will come out as a greater people. We will come out of people learning to trust in you even the more. Father, over the tribal council again, Lord, give them wisdom, give them guidance over this reservation. We just pray that you continue to give the people peace. You continue to give the people an expectancy. For your word says that you have given us a future and an expected end, not plans of evil. But Father, I just thank you. I thank you that we could enter into your presence today, that we could come with boldness and that we could come with confidence of knowing, Father, that you hear us and knowing that we could call out upon your by our side. Continue to be with, continue to bless. Father, let your face shine upon us. And we say this all in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.